Okay, welcome everybody. We'll call this meeting to order at 1:08 p.m. Please note the meeting is video and audio recorded and all electronic meetings are uploaded to the municipality's YouTube page. By registering to participate in the meeting by electronic means, you are consenting to have your likeness and comments recorded and posted on YouTube. I'll now read the township's land acknowledgement statement. The lands we know today as the Township of Puslinch have been home to Indigenous peoples since time immemorial. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the Hattawandurunk, as well as the treaty lands and traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee. With increasing encroachment by non-Indigenous settlers in the Township of Puslinch, the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee could not continue their traditional lifestyle and settled in their villages along the Credit River and the Grand River Valley. These Indigenous nations uphold their treaty rights within our jurisdiction. Today, the Township of Puslinch remains home to the Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island. We are grateful to have the opportunity to share and respect Mother Earth and are committed to building constructive and cooperative relationships with Indigenous nations. I will now do a roll call of those in attendance. I'll go my right to my, I think I always do left to right. So we'll start with my right to my left. So Ray. Present. Cheryl.
Here.
Andy.
Here.
Lily.
Present.
Christine is absent. Self and our staff person, Laura.
Present.
All right, so number 3, we'll just pause for a brief moment of reflection. Okay, and we'll move to item number 4 on the agenda, which is the approval of the agenda. Do we have any amendments that anybody would like to make to the agenda as previously distributed?
The motion is that the Heritage Advisory Committee approves the May 4th agenda as circulated.
Can we have a mover? Andy, seconder, Lily, all in favor? Carried. Okay. The next one is a disclosure of conflict of interest. Do any committee members have any conflicts of interest based on the agenda that had just been approved that they would like to address? Okay, hearing none. We'll move on to number 6. I don't believe we have any delegations today, Laura.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Number 7, over to you is the consent agenda, and I'll just let you walk us through these.
Through the chair, the consent items are our last 2 committee meeting minutes, as well as the annual council and committee year in review. So you can see that what was put for the Heritage Committee was the number of designated properties we're working through, information on our plaque program, and then also the Colleen School Bell Cairn that the committee worked very hard on. So that's exciting. And then the picture is you guys all at the Cairn, which is even more exciting.
Of all the committees, I think this one gets the most photo opportunities within the township communication materials.
No AI photos needed for you.
Yes, exactly.
Glad that I noticed.
Convenient. The one without me. You might have caught me on that one, Lily.
Sure.
But yeah, no, it's exciting. It's a good document to show off the work of committees and council.
Any questions of Laura on either of those 3 items that she just spoke to and that were as part of the briefing?
Fabulous. So the motion is that the consent agenda items be received for information.
All right. Can we have a mover and a seconder? All right, Cheryl, seconder, Ray. We're gonna get everybody in the meeting minutes today. That's all in support. Carried. All right, thanks. Number 8 is committee reports. So Laura, I'll let you speak to report HER 2026-007, the goals and objectives update.
Through the chair, what this report highlights everything we've been working on. You guys are the most active committee by far, which is exciting. And then the last part of the statements of cultural heritage, value, or interest are currently with our peer reviewer, and she will have them back to township staff in the next month or so. So that's exciting because you guys approved those at the March meeting, I want to say. So yeah, now they're sitting with her, she'll do her editing, her peer reviewing, and then we can bring them forward. But that's really the last batch, and then in years to follow, we'll continue to designate. But we've gotten through so many in the last 4 years. I think it's really cool to see.
Yeah, maybe before any questions I have,
Mhm.
any committee members have any questions for Laura based on the hopes and objectives?
Just for the future.
Might have just-
Okay, no,
Dive in.
you go ahead. No, I was just wondering if we're gonna get, like, how many more meetings do we have?
Yes, through the chair, September we meet, like, will be our last meeting. And I would love to put a big document together, kind of showing everything we've done. And then also the second piece of that would be what we see for the next 4 years for the next term of this committee. Whether that's the stuff you've brought up, so the conservation district, anything related to barns, anything related to designation that the committee wants to do going forward. And then also showing just the line items of all the stuff that you guys have done.
Before September, so June, July, August. That's it,
There's
just.
none, as of now. There's none, no.
Could I put a request through or a motion to have staff prepare the report ahead of time for circulation just to the committee so that we can make amendments before September?
Like to the master report?
To the list of properties, I think.
Oh,
Someone else, just so we can, like, we have a bit of time to maybe clarify or add our information that we gathered, but maybe didn't submit.
are you thinking like just this batch of properties or like in
No,
general?
All of them that we covered, the, like, of the 100-ish that were on the original list,
Mm-hmm,
where are they at now?
uh-huh,
It's just a whole, like,
Like a-
more or less a summary, but enough details that we know what was actually decided or where, what status they are. I think there was an Excel sheet.
yes, there is, I know, I can picture the document that has all of them. That I could try to use to build it out, so you're just thinking you want that more than a week in advance?
I was thinking like to June,
Okay,
not like June, July-ish. I'm not sure what your schedule is like. I don't want to put too much. But I think you probably have the list up to date-ish anyways, right?
yes, it's for sure, I'm always
So if you could
updating it.
circulate it after
Mhm.
this meeting, as soon as you have it.
Just to kind of show where you're at.
Yeah, I think it helps us get our head on where I lost track, honestly, of
Right.
which batch we were on and which one
Mhm.
was which, but.
And it's like just to see like the percentages of everything that we've done. Yes, I don't know why, I just want to make sure I can do that, would be my own
Yeah,
thing.
I think like, just to maybe piggyback and where Lily's at, I think would be interesting is to see that Excel file. And just the relative status of each of those properties on there, whether they've fully designated. Whether they're currently seeking more information with the consultant, where in the process they are. Or I suspect there may be some that just like there isn't enough data to move them forward at this point, but I think just to add to Lily's point. I think for the next iteration of this Heritage Committee. Whether they choose to continue to pursue those designations in the next 4 years, I guess I'll leave that for that committee to decide. But I think if that document is updated, I'm saying off the top of my head, maybe just timestamp it July 1 or something like that. I think I would use it as two parts. One is just to show the progress of this committee over the last 3.5 years is probably why I really like it. And then the second piece is that it becomes a historical benchmark for the next iteration of council. All right, for this Heritage Advisory Committee, and if they choose to continue working through those ones, which I hope there is interest in that. That's a good landing point for them, and it's a really good up-to-date status document. But to echo Lily's comments, I'm sensitive we just don't just dump this on you, Laura.
Well, no, it'll need to be prepared for the September meeting. I just want to make sure. There's a way that I can just send it to you guys without any like business scope happening.
Gotcha.
Like there's no responding to it and then all together.
It's sharing of information with notices of decisions arriving until like committee. You can kind of.
And I think even a way around, some sort of way around that would be me kind of creating this document that we could post on our website, like publicly. And then I could share, like you could see it on the website.
I don't understand why you can't just share it with the committee though before the meeting, because at that point, it's too late for us to make any corrections.
Yeah, yeah. I think I could. I don't wanna say I can and then I can't.
This has been the working document and what we worked off of, so, but we don't have, none of us has it up to date.
Yes, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But I can try to aim to have that July 1. And then it gives you, are you just wanting just a few more months to then see where we go from here?
And we're also looking to provide something for the Heritage District. And that would kind of be, okay, these ones are already designated. I think, I don't have that information for that neighborhood.
I know what you mean.
There's several reasons why we kind of could use it earlier.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hate that. I like that idea.
Anything else?
I was just thinking about when would we kind of be present to present findings for, I think we talked about an August council meeting where I think, well, you and I were part of that committee. I don't know that, well, not that anybody else can attend as well, but I was just thinking that if we have something to present, we might actually want to do it before this committee is done. How does that timing look? It's not ready yet. I was kind of.
Yeah, well, it would need to go to the committee first.
Okay.
Which, and I think having a memo brought to the committee in September is still totally acceptable. Especially because it would be something that was looked at the next term. So it would be a great starting point to see where we can go with it. And then from there, come the winter of next year, when this commit, like when we start the committee up again. Then there's something for them to work on and they can hit the ground running versus. This was an idea that wasn't thought out and here you go and.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you just want to be able to provide them with as much information as possible. Yes, I think if we have a memo on the Heritage District come September.
So I like that. Maybe my build on that would be is, I think Lily and I can work through refining that in the summer so that the committee gets to see it in September and I'll say a clear and concise proposal or memo or however you want to coin that. And my ask would be that the committee have time to do that, edit it as they see fit, and then at the end of this September meeting, it would be a recommendation for consideration in the next iteration, but I want to make sure that everybody's had an opportunity to review it and hopefully endorse it.
Yeah.
Because I think, one of my goals at the end of this would be for the next iteration of the Heritage Advisory Committee is that they have a couple activities or goals and objectives that they can react to. Because I think if I go back to the start of this committee, for those of you that were here, the first meeting, we were kind of pondering, what do we do? Related to the guidance or direction, and then we had built the thrust upon this, which gave us gave us a North Star to work towards. But I think for the next iteration, I think my goal and hopefully your collective goal would be is to give some strategic insight to that next iteration of the committee to at least ponder what they choose to spend their time on strategically. So I like the idea of having that well prepped for that September meeting so that the committee can review it and hopefully endorse it or modify it and endorse it.
And we can make changes to it or add things to it then too. Or even then like send any comments to me.
Okay.
That we can then include in the next iteration of it. That's totally
good. Remind me what our second objective that we shoot to 2026 through barn preservation. I know this is asking off the top of your head, do we have a robust memo for that one as well, or do we need to work on that?
I don't even know if we need a memo. We have a lot of information on a lot of barns in the township. the information is there. It's just pulling something together so that it becomes a formal goal and objective. Which can be at the beginning of the next term of the committee.
Is there value in just drafting like a one pager on that one to try to capture the essence of it?
Totally, yeah, anyone, if like there was any anyone wanted to any committee member wanted to do a committee memo on that before this term is over, totally sufficient to, same with the conservation district. I think the conservation district is way more fulsome.
Yeah.
There's way more meat and bones to that.
Just quickly.
Yes, we will have a student this summer.
They haven't started.
They haven't started, the contract or the amount of funding we get for a heritage student. Is only around 12 weeks, so they're normally June, July, and August.
I think
So
that
they'll
was
start.
the thing.
Yeah, so they will start the beginning of June. We'll have a heritage student for 3 months.
Is it possible that we ask a heritage student as part of their job to aid in drafting a one-page memo on barn preservation that this committee could react to in September? I'm sensitive that it's not our role to like start dictating what they do with their time, but just make a recommendation and it feel that it fits to pursue that. And in the absence of that isn't going to be a fit with that particular student. I'm perfectly like willing to draft a one page, or if somebody wants to work with me on that. I'm happy to, because again, I want to set the next iteration of this committee up for success. And I think if we draft a one pager on that, at least to craft up the kind of the strategic piece of it would be well placed.
That's totally something the student could help with. And then similar to if you have any sort of committee member for the conservation district and you want to have them look at it before the meeting. I can look at it with them, but they can also put their 2 cents into it, see what they can do on conservation districts.
Well, it's good. I'll leave with that with you to kind of shepherd. Any other comments around just like as we wrap up our goals and objectives that anybody else has? Because here's our opportunity to provide direction towards the end of this kind of term. So I want to give everybody the opportunity to share their perspective or insights.
So, I just have.
Cheryl, then I'll go to you.
Okay,
Right?
I just have a question or clarification. You are saying conservation districts, is it heritage or historic or conservation?
Heritage.
Always I'm thinking heritage. Should I always say that and not just conservation district?
Well, when you say conservation, I'm
I
thinking.
think
Land.
It's probably more accurate to call it heritage district.
Okay,
Okay,
yes, heritage district, totally.
okay, thank you.
I can't be thinking of 2 districts at once. One is enough, but yeah, it would be heritage, absolutely.
Wrapping up our goals and objectives and some ideas for the next iteration of this heritage community.
My apologies.
No worries. Anything else from you, Cheryl?
Yep.
Right.
Are we working toward a terminus, a terminal? For this stage, or I'm never quite clear on. Where this committee is assigned till the end of October. Is it,
Correct.
that's when the council,
And then the municipal election, and then that's when this committee basically ceases to operate. And then I'm not sure when the committee's actually appointed, but I'll say January of 27. The next iteration of the Heritage Advisory Committee is formed. Hopefully, some or all of you express interest in joining it, and that will be the next 4-year tranche. So these committees operate the same cycle as the municipal council does. So basically, I'm not even sure when the election is. It's November or
October 26th.
Thank you. I should probably know that. So yeah, basically September will be our last committee meeting in this iteration of the 4-year cycle.
but the provincial legislation continues.
Correct.
We're not working to a terminus date or some terminal date.
Yes, through the chair, correct, like the provincial stuff. The provincial stuff has date that as of January 1st, 2027. That's the date that Bill 23 says any properties that aren't designated will be removed from the Heritage Register and can be relisted for a period of 5 years on that register. That is a big reason why we've been trying to go through the properties on our register and designating as many as we can. They're not too worried that there's an election and that this committee won't, like, is disbanded, and then there's another committee, like any municipality could follow different rules. It doesn't need to end per se when a term of council ends. Pleasants just follows that cycle of having the committees be that 4-year term, similar to when council is.
Okay, I just wasn't sure about. When the knife comes down, the guillotine comes down or doesn't. Has council received any feedback from the general populace about this, or do you think they even understand that this is going on?
I would say I provide council updates as the chair of this committee. Typically after each committee meeting that we have, I'll just say, here's what was discussed, here are the outcomes. In terms of the general public, unless they're a property owner that has gone through a heritage designation, or they're, say, a member of the historical society or something that's kind of a higher touch point, right? I would say generally speaking, they get the high level summary that is included in the annual report that the township does. It's 2 years ago, they would have seen that the Word in Black plaque donation, there's some language around that, number of sites that have been designated. This past year, there was obviously the school bell that was donated, but I think general public, right, my take would be, unless they're a huge heritage advocate or have a property caught up in the designation process, they're probably not top of mind for them realistically.
They're just trying to pay the mortgage and get on with life.
Yeah, whereas, some of maybe the larger township issues around annual budget approvals, or if there's big zoning changes or development projects, that tends to be more in like the public eye typically.
If we designate a property, does it get a placard, like a physical recognition of the status of that property?
I'll maybe let Laura speak to that because she kind of shepherds them.
Most of them have a plaque, like a millennium plaque that previous Heritage Advisory Committees around 2000 plaqued a lot of properties in the township. So a lot of them do already have a plaque that they have. Specific properties that have been designated, so these properties that have the plaques as of 2000 were just on our register, or that were part of what formed our register, because the registers only exist for the last 5 years or so. We also now have a heritage plaque program that designated properties, if they want a cool plaque to really honor their property, they can apply for a separate plaque through our plaquing program.
Which is you can make it to a degree customizable, right?
Correct. It has more information on it. It's not just property. It kind of says like the first homeowner or the first occupation of the person that lived there or the year the house was built. So it has a bit more zhuzh to it than the Millennium plaque does. So that is something that the designated property owners can.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I think we had budget to do up to 10 a year for the foreseeable future, but if that property owner of the heritage, it's entirely up to them whether they choose to get one of the new plaques or just keep the one that they were provided a number of years ago. Is that helpful?
Good, thank you.
Yeah. One thing that would be nice is, I'm not sure if any of those plaques have been placed yet, but to actually share with the committee an image of actually how we talked about it, but it's always nice to actually see it fixed to the side of a heritage property. It's something that popped in. Other comments, questions? don't want to put you in the spot, Christine, anything from your perspectives as we kind of wrap up this term of the Heritage Advisory Committee and things we'd like to share with, or as ideas or insights into the next iteration of this committee come the next 4-year cycle.
Well, I think this sounds like such a church answer. Let's keep doing what we're doing. But I do think that we have done some really significant things in terms of our pace of designation. Because it doesn't really, like, if you look at the annual report and it says we don't designate, it doesn't give us any context really compared to other Ontario municipalities. And we actually have done a ton, and I think that's worth celebrating and continuing. So, yeah, I think continuing to do that at the pace that we're able to do it makes great sense.
And that's something I'm gonna have our student look into, kind of where are we at?
Yeah.
Like, let's look at all these municipalities, where are we at percentage wise, this like numbers wise?
Yeah.
Like, cause for our population, we've gotta be pretty.
Yeah.
Gotta be pretty up there.
I do think too, I would love to see us continue the communication piece, because I hear that how many people know what we do. And we've talked about, like, we've made some appearances on socials, right?
Mhm.
And, you know, School Bell got us some great, you know, paying attention to heritage. I think we have a role in terms of education, that it would be really great to continue to help people understand, why does it matter? Like, in a world of IKEA, like, why does it matter to have something that lasts more than 2 years? And there's a lot here to celebrate. I think particularly as we grow and, you know, Guelph inches further and Cambridge, there's something unique and good. So I'd love to see more of that out there for people to see and understand and learn. Like, there's still people I meet all the time who have no idea about Colonel McLean. Like, McLean's magazine, this was his country home. It's like, it's a big Canadian story. There are tons of those stories here. It'd be great to celebrate them somehow and keep them out there. Like our socials, do we have heritage minutes? You know, like, remember those things? They still do those on television? You know, the heritage moments? Yeah, like,
Our heritage moment.
yeah, like, it'd be great to have that stuff out
I'm gonna
there.
act like I know what that is on television, it's like cable TV.
Hey, it'd be nice to us old people.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be so fun?
Find it on YouTube.
Cause you should have.
I don't disagree, like, where do we, and that will build the conversation around what we're trying to do, like, it will help aid the conversation of what we wanna do too, like, it all kind of works towards one goal.
It's a great summer student task too, because if you had them collect 5 stories and
Mhm.
draft, you know, a small socials thing and find a matching picture and submit those into the queue, whoever magically does that all the time, but. Oh, is it you? I'm our socials person too, so I'm always looking for content,
Yeah.
and that would be great content. It would get, you know, the heritage thing, you know, out there.
Showing an opportunity with Creek Hills right now, that's your loan.
Sure, yeah. And you know, I would talk about it all day long, so.
I just add to that, I was just thinking that if you take something from the past, let's say one of the buildings at Creek Hills in the story, and add something from today, like this is the new director kind of thing.
Well, and the before and afters are a big thing. Yeah, and you know, there probably are some of those designated homeowners who are really proud of their house and would love for you to show a before and after, or, you know, tell you the story of, in like a tiny little paragraph. It'd be so fun.
So this will date me, but, when the Millennium ones were done, the Puslynch Pioneer did a series, but it counted on people to put in the stories. And so people went to different places and either if the homeowner didn't know the history, then the person shared the history with them and they published the history and with photos of the place, and some of them were before and after, and they were great. A great series.
Yeah, the Pioneers is great.
stories.
Yeah.
Great, go ahead.
Or just on that note, I've got this, I don't know where I got this book, but anyway, it's about 1880s, I guess. And it has a record of shows, agricultural livestock shows at the CNE, or what became the CNE.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the name F.W. Stone rings a bell here. you're an agricultural.
But like Stone Road would be
Well,
where they
It was
farm.
named after
Yeah.
him, and he was an Englishman who came over. And he imported the best of every breed of livestock, everything from ducks to Persian horses. And he even traveled out to Chicago when Chicago was the major agricultural exhibition in America. And the rascal brought home red ribbons for some of his cattle and I think some of his chickens. And again, I thought it was a hell of an interesting story.
Yeah.
Nobody, probably the University of Wells, somebody knows about it, but he farmed up, I can't remember, there's still a cemetery there, across from the agricultural, farm. There's it's just west of Arkle.
Oh,
Um,
like on Farnham Cemetery?
Farnham, that's it.
Farnham Cemetery.
Okay,
And that village, for some reason, I don't think ever developed. Arkle took the,
There is the cemetery still there, and there's the Farnham Church. They
Yeah.
settled on a 200-acre farm on the Pleasant Plain just south of Guelph. He was the first person into the Canadian Agricultural Hall of Fame.
Okay, so
it's just another great story. If you
Those types of things we can work on too. Those are more fun.
just doing something fun. So I have another question, and I don't know if it belongs here or not. But cemeteries, these are cool. So cemeteries are a bit of a struggle, particularly those who are attached to churches. And I know the BAO, the Bereavement Authority, are working at education about caring for them, legalities, all that kind of stuff. I'm just wondering, does our mandate include, like we talked about barns and need to look after those? Do we need to keep our heads up about cemeteries within our bounds?
I can look at the TOR. In general, the township doesn't do anything on like we stay away from cemeteries. There's one that we have to report on every year, and I'm trying to remember what one that is.
Well, that's just it. So I just know from the trustees of our church denomination, that this is a new problem. I suspect, I haven't sat down and looked at all the churches, but I expect that within our bounds, that is a future problem waiting to happen. And so is there anything that we can or should be taking responsibility for in terms of education of those churches? Or is there any work we can do ahead of time to mitigate the trouble that may be coming? Because once churches can't manage, if the church closes, it's the township, right? And then vandalism apparently is a big problem, and there's obvious, it's not like you can just sell them off or something. So I just asked that as a question, should that be on our radar? I don't know.
maybe that's just something more you can take back and ponder that and report back in September.
Yeah, and if you need any information in terms of the BAO, like they just had an education day for cemetery operators of these small cemeteries. So if we want to be in, I have contacts there, because they've done an education day for us, that collected a lot of small church people, but they were a lot of them beyond the district, like beyond our municipality. So if there is anything that we wanted to do, or you want to talk to somebody there.
We have like a link website in general that just to look up what the regulations are around.
Bereavement Authority of Ontario.
They're the ones, okay.
They're the ones who
Yeah.
are responsible, yeah. I think Darren Denime is the guy he seems to be the guy that's pushing the education stuff, so.
Yeah, that's all cemetery
Well,
education.
that's good, and even just understanding where all the pioneer cemeteries are within the municipality would be
That'd be
a good
cool.
point of reference.
Mhm.
Are you okay with just taking that back and
And that church there.
reporting on what you think?
Oh, it's not his fault for.
Yeah, we can definitely add it to the list of things that we think we want to look at next term.
Okay.
I guess I don't know enough about cemeteries now, but just what can we do?
So I just looked, the municipality and small cemetery working group is having a virtual chat and networking session on the 21st of May. So I just sent that to you. If it turns out it's something that you can look into, then you have the information yourself. And it's being held, it looks like by the OACFP, which is the Ontario Association of Cemetery and Funeral Professionals.
Mhm.
We'll see.
Okay. Yeah, we can, if it's something the committee's wanting, we think the committee might be interested in looking at it next term. Or if we could just somehow loop that into just broader education awareness in general.
Yeah.
Like or
Cemeteries are
public awareness, education around, around our cemeteries.
Yeah, I think, and I do think that it is an important municipal question. Looking ahead, if we're gonna make sure that we protect them. Even if it's to reach out to those churches who have them and inquire, like, are you all right out there, or do you foresee needing assistance, because that stuff's expensive.
Mhm.
That's good. I think that, you know what, I think if you can take that back and kind of ruminate or and we're adding this to the summer students project pod. but,
Give it all to the students.
I think that's an important piece just to kind of understand that it's out there. It's not probably a 5 alarm issue for this municipality at this point in time, but it may be in the future. And to strategize around what the intersection is with the Heritage Committee, would be probably a good discussion. And then maybe in our September wrap-up meeting, we could have a bit more of a wholesome conversation if we have a briefing note. And then attempt to strategize around some go forward direction for the next 4 years.
I have one more thing, and maybe I'm looking in your direction, maybe some of you know more about this than I do. There was, and I missed it, in Crieff, there was like a walking history tour or something. 2018, maybe,
Yeah, I'm not.
back there.
Yeah.
Have we thought about doing any more of these?
Mhm.
I'm sorry I missed that one, because that would have been amazing.
So we did them from the Historic Society,
Oh, that's who did it, okay,
from this
Mhm.
committee.
yeah.
Cause you just did the one in Morriston.
We did, yeah, we just did the one in Marston too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we had done, well, the school presentation, which we are starting to redo. But we had those, but they weren't, like, this time it was, we did them sort of live before, and this last presentation that she did this month. Or last month, was just from the information that we had gathered, but we did them the same, so we held one back at Knox Church and one in Arkle somewhere. We held them in 4 different places so we could try and gather different crowds, and then, but we talked about 4 or 5 school sections in each area. So we did those, and then they did 3 or 4 cemetery things where, like, this was before I was part of the Historic Society, but I was asked to take a part of someone in the past from my family, and so other people, like Brenda Law did her family, and so they were pretty cool too. So they held about 3, well, I think they tried to hold one in each of the cemeteries around, so, yeah.
Yeah, because that's another way to sort of make the history alive and out there.
We tried to start to do an annual one, sort of, is it that Jane Walk that's held over Ontario in different places? And so we thought, well, let's try to do it. So that was our Crieff one that we had started, and then maybe we lost some members and lost some help.
Well, and then COVID happened, so.
Yeah. So then we didn't get onto them, but yeah, they're a great way, and if you ask, like, families that aren't involved in the Historic Society, like they had asked me, then it triggers your interest.
Because I go back to some of the stuff we learned last year at that Heritage Conference, and there was a lot about using heritage facilities to host events or to, right, but they were monetized so that there was some money coming in, like, because they had one of the big cemetery tours, and so I don't know if that's on our on our agenda anywhere in terms of using those things to be, like, we talk tourism, I know tourism is
Mhm.
big, and then, you know, the district, whether that would translate over into events versus a static
Mhm.
place that was designated.
And that's how they had someone step up to care for that cemetery, and then that's how he raised some funds, and he had some interesting people buried there, so he used those stories
Yeah,
and sold tickets, and people came out, yeah, because it was kind of a cool thing. It was a bigger cemetery,
yeah,
Mhm.
it's true.
Mhm.
but it was.
Maybe there's some great
I'm
opportunities.
taking feverish notes.
Yeah.
Just wondering.
Well, and there's only so much capacity, and there's, you know, I get all of that, so, but, yeah.
I think it's important that we capture the idea.
Yeah.
And let's let you ruminate on that, Laura,
Yeah.
and
And I think if you throw a bunch of stuff at the wall, especially at the beginning of the next term, you see what sticks, you see what interests that committee at the time.
When do when, and whose job, is that your job, that you have to figure out, no, cause who organizes this bunch of people?
well, so our last meeting's gonna be September,
Okay,
and then, so this
There's-
committee works in the same
Okay.
electoral cycle.
right, so there's an election, but I just mean, like, who, is it staff that sort everything out after the election?
We'll basically put out, apply for committees, like all committees,
Okay.
depending on what the committees that count, like the next iteration of council wants to see, heritage we're mandated to have, so there'll be a heritage committee for sure. And then you would apply similar to you did 4 years ago, so you have to reapply,
Is
even if you've
there
been on the
how many
committee.
terms you can serve?
I don't believe
I'm
so,
over.
not that, yeah.
Okay, I thought I was gonna get booted off, but.
No, I think it's good to have some carryover to help.
I think we've had an incredibly active heritage committee. I sincerely hope all of you.
Yeah, no, it's,
Yeah, this is a good bunch.
you're healed to the end.
And then in terms of my role, so then,
Sorry, guys,
um,
I'm getting too comfortable.
the October election.
Yeah.
And then the next iteration of council, the mayor will appoint one of the council members to chair it.
Okay.
Maybe that will be me, maybe it won't. If
Well,
I'm back, I would be very interested in doing it again.
We're nice.
Mhm.
No fight, but I know the mayor, and I did see some things online about. He's announced that, is that, I don't know how elections work here.
Is it too long to stop?
Chat after.
Yeah, okay, well,
Are you
that's.
saying, Russell, you're running again?
I think so. I haven't filled out all my paperwork yet, but I think that's the plan.
Is that the latest scoop or?
Yeah, I don't know. Do we have any reporters on that? It's a hot news topic.
Check the views.
Mhm.
Are there ever
We
any?
never look at, no. Oh, I thought the newspaper.
No, here, are there ever
I
any
think we
views?
have one
You have a
participant.
person online,
Wow, really?
which is exciting.
Oh, that's so great. Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, we get some, and then they can see after, once you post it, publicly,
Sure, yeah.
they'll watch it.
Yeah.
And how accurate that
Yeah.
is or not, but.
I just didn't know.
Let me just say, keep things rolling. I think,
Sorry.
I think we've had lots of really good stuff to wrap up. Before we get into any correspondence and wrap things up, do you have clear direction, Laura? Cause I think September, just probably plan like that will be a
Barnbuster.
fairly heavy meeting, I would say, would be my take.
That's a good joke.
Not a barn.
Oh, burning barn.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good moment to share in all the successes of this committee over the last 3.5 years, but also really try to set the stage for the future. That the next iteration has a lot of really good ideas going forward for them to react to. So I think that'll be really positive. Anything else from, and then you have a number of reports that you'll come back to the group with based on requests.
Absolutely. No, I think you guys have done so much great work.
Awesome. And a big thank you to the staff, like you guys take direction. So, where am I in the agenda here? Sorry. We're at number 9, right?
Yes. The motion is to receive the report for information.
Can we have a mover and a second? For the report, the lengthy rambling report that we got through. So I had Lily and Cheryl all in support. I still have. Okay, now we get number 9, correspondence. Do we have any correspondence at all? No. Any announcements that anybody has? I have one, but I'll let everybody else go first. The one I had, Laura, you had sent out some requests for the township mural. Feedback.
Send me anything you have.
So. I guess from a heritage standpoint, that was my question. So what's the scope of the mural program? Is it anything under the sun or is it heritage specific? Or
It's anything under the sun. We're trying to, we don't know what direction we're gonna go with
Okay.
yet. We got grant funding to put a couple murals up. So, we wanted to see what sort of ideas people had out there. I did, also email it directly to all of our community groups in the township. And I did receive, feedback from the Historical Society, which is great. So they did send me a bunch of cool images that we could try to incorporate, in the mural, if that's the route we decide to go in. But there's not like a decision of like one's heritage plaque, or one's a, not plaque, one's a heritage mural and one's a, yeah, so.
Cause I would have thought like indigenous history would have been good, yeah, I like for sure,
Mhm.
there's a ton that.
If you see any cool ones online, feel free to always just forward it to me and then I can share it with the artists that.
Oh,
So I had a few of those, and then do we know where the location of them? Because I thought it was Aberfoyle and or Morriston, but have you got any more
One-
specifics?
Yes, our hope is that one will be on the PCC grounds for sure. Cause we own that, so it's very, it's simple to decide where we wanna do it. The two ideas from the PCC grounds that we're floating around are either on the one side of the building of the gym that faces the library. Or if we could get something up on the side of the tennis courts that faces Brock Road. To try to give us, people would see it as they're driving by.
Is a billboard.
Yeah, then it would also kind of give the tennis courts a little bit of. Their own, yeah. It hasn't been decided upon yet. And then there'll be one in Morriston downtown, hopefully as well, yeah.
So online, did it not say 2 in Aberfoyle and 2 in Marston?
2 total.
Okay, so I
2
got
total.
that wrong when and the big thing that people were asking, because I've had some contact with some local
Okay,
artists.
good.
And well, they want more information, so it was like what Russell said, where are they gonna be? What
Yeah.
size are they gonna be? Are they on buildings or are they?
We're gonna have to send out like a request for quote, or a request for quote, or a request for proposal for it. Sometime in May, so anyone can definitely put their name in the hat for that. We're currently in conversations with property owners in Morriston to decide on. If they can work with us if they want their property, but I don't really wanna say much about that.
Okay, so it would be good to ask, which one, like, because I had one in mind that would be a good building to put one
Okay,
on.
okay.
I'm not sure if you're talking to that person.
I was just wondering about the park in Morriston where the Bell Karen is that not more owned by the city township? It's quite a bit farther out of
It
the.
is,
I don't know where you put it.
yeah, but it's,
The native mural.
yeah.
A billboard.
Maybe there's some stuff to figure out, right? Go ahead.
I wasn't aware of this mural project or whatever. What is the purpose? Just the history of the township or?
It might not be anything heritage related at all. It's just gonna, we have grant funding for 2 community murals. And we're kind of putting thoughts and opinions out there to see what people like or what people would like to see on these murals.
I would.
Obviously, they're not someone thinking.
No, we're thinking pretty big. I don't have any specifics on it though.
That's,
so it's just spitballing at this.
I'm just, yeah, we're gonna see what people like or what people wanna see. I haven't really been involved in it too much. Hopefully I could be, cause it sounds pretty cool.
so my request for the Heritage Committee would be, is why I brought it up, is if you have any ideas specific to heritage. Or any visuals or ideas, please share them with Laura. I think it doesn't need to be heritage, but I think because heritage plays such a significant role in the community. I think it's a great opportunity to showcase it. And like, from my perspective, I think when I see those murals, the two that come to mind are the ones where they'll do like the Pioneer Day mural. Like somebody plowing a field or an old cabin, and the other ones that I think you see in some towns that look really neat are when they do the angel wings. Then people can stand in front of them and take the Instagram pictures. Those always look great. Like
So
my
it creates
kids,
a photo moment.
my kids get excited about stuff like that, right? So those are two, but I'll shoot you some ideas from my standpoint. I guess my request of this group is when you're driving around over the course of the next little while and you see something or you have an idea, share it with Laura, because I think this is a great opportunity. There's potential to do 2 murals. Maybe it's the schoolhouses of the township or something like that. I think is cool. Something. I'll leave it at that. It's just there's an opportunity, and I would very much encourage this committee to provide perspective.
It's
Well,
exciting.
just like Christine's, Colonel McLean. Like,
Absolutely.
that's a national
Yeah,
person, really, a personage in our history
yeah.
of Canada, not just.
And he was born here, right? Like, he was
Yes.
born right into Creve. Yeah, yeah, there's
It's great.
I just sent you one too.
Perfect. Yeah, lots of other things to share.
So, I had, after your email, sent out to, all the people on the Historic Society list,
Perfect.
for them to share their ideas. Now, there is some concern that I was sending that out last week, and today's the extended deadline. And so is that some of the people that are artists are like, well, there's no way I could get an idea together, like. They still have an opportunity to submit after today?
Yes,
or-
yeah, like we're not even in that stage yet where they would need to have it all together. I think we just wanted to see what people were interested in. So yes, if there's anything that they have to share.
And some of the artists were concerned that if they were to do the artwork, they did not want to copy an AI because like people were using AIs for examples on the site.
Okay.
And they're just like, yeah, if I was to do that, I would want original. The one person I know is a professional and has done work for Chapman's and Coca-Cola. And so he would be interested, but not in doing copying an AI. But I said, that's how people without the talents can get their ideas out there because they can feed it in. I felt it was important to make sure that somewhere on them, they say some of our good group things that we have, like the Optimists, the Agriculture Society, and maybe anyway, I just thought I would share that. They would like to know the size, but and I'm gonna share this too, because other people, when we talked about it, and they talked about the meetings that we had on beautifying the main roads as you come in and so forth. They thought we were talking more trees than murals, so they weren't excited about the mural ideas. So just so you know, I get feedback both ways.
Well, that's great.
Companion plants, so.
Cool. Well, Laura will be wide open to all sorts of ideas and suggestions that it has.
So
Yes.
even though the deadline is today, we're still open for ideas. Said they should still, so those people that have contacted me, I should say.
Yes, if there's anything, you can send it directly to me.
Yes.
And then I can kind of work. We just wanted to get as much feedback as possible before we send out an RFQ or anything.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Sure.
like a request for quote, like we're looking, you know what I mean? 'Cause so yes, we're not even at the stage where we would like ask for what artists would. Yeah, so we're still in the early stages of it, so we can still get feedback.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
Well, it's good. I think, I think you've done well. These are super effective, communication tools. Okay, any other correspondence? Anybody has? I guess we're on announcements, are we? Any additional announcements? Any notice of motion? Get one more opportunity for a notice of motion before we wrap things up.
We don't need a motion to get the recorded.
No, I think we just take that as direction provided. Any new business that anybody has that they will flag?
I'm not sure, but I can, like I did.
Okay, guess we're looking for a motion to adjourn. Anything else you have, speak now or for older, I guess, until.
The Heritage Advisory Committee hereby adjourns at 2:04 PM.
I'll move that.
Great, thank you, Christine. Seconder, all in favor? Great. Thank you, folks. We got everybody in the meeting notes today too.